Da-da. I already got my coffee. I already got my coffee. I have it. I might have to get coffee in the middle of the stream. Hey Steve, say something.
Something.
Perfect. And as y'all, as folks start coming in, we're going to go live in just about a couple of minutes. We're warming up the streams, as the pro streamers say, which I am not. Bjorn, hey, how's it going, man? Glad to see you in the chat. You guys, we have chat, so we will see your questions in the chat. And we're going to start in just about a minute. Get out, go. What's going on, Christoph? How's it going, man? Now, when I switch the button in about 30 seconds, you guys can tell me if our audio levels and all that are cool.
I haven't gotten a notice yet on mine. But just so you know, other people might not have gotten a notice yet either.
Phones do not concern me. I am looking at the 2 minute mark, and you guys, at the 2 minute mark, we're gonna go live. At 2 minutes. And we are just chatting today. This is a chat. We're taking questions in the chat stream. What's going on, Robert? How's it going? I hope you guys are enjoying some background music. All right, and here we go. And hey, how's it going, you guys? We're all here. Steve, say hi.
Hey, hi, Michael. Hey, guys.
So Steve is joining us remotely. You guys, really good to see you all. We're just doing a chat with the community today. So if you guys have any questions, of course, in the chat.
But let's acknowledge the time.
Let's acknowledge the time.
And the time zone.
And the time zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're doing this in the middle of the day. Hey, Nick.
What's going on, Nick?
Oh, now I got the notif. So, I got to turn my sound off. So we're doing this in the middle of the day because we have members on the other side of the world. We usually
Hi, Christoph. Hi, Robert. Hi, Bjorn.
Yeah, we usually publish, in the evenings Pacific time around 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and y'all are asleep. So we wanted to have a time.
Yeah, to be more friendly. We also have compiled a list of questions from our friends overseas that we'll be hitting as we chat. But of course, we'll also be watching the chat if you guys have any questions about Overland Bound software, what we do, why we think adventure is necessary, and all the things. You guys just post them in the chat, and we'd be happy to answer them. And Steve is joining us. Let me introduce Steve. So Steve and I are friends. We're really good friends. We've known each other for a decade, Steve.
Yep, give or take.
Give or take. Mm-hmm. But I was a fanboy before then because I played games which he created, namely the Command & Conquer series. So Steve is our CTO. He's Overland Bound CTO. So everything technology related.
My fault.
It's Steve's fault.
It's Steve's fault.
y'all. Hey, what's going on? Family Overland. Y'all can blame Steve, but he's here to talk about any technical stuff as well.
And I'll be looking over here a bunch because the chat feed is here. So I'll be looking for questions and hi Jeremy John, Woodcock Family Overland. Hi.
Happy Wednesday.
And Nick.
Yeah. So, you guys, there's been so much going on with Overland Bound. Of course, you guys have been seeing some of the videos that we've had recently, some awesome trips. You guys know that our 80 series is an ongoing project, and we've got more great stuff coming with the 80 series. We've been building that thing since 2010, just iterating on it. And so we have more videos coming up just to give you guys ideas about perhaps your build as well. Channel is all about overlanding. If you stumbled across this live stream, I've introduced Steve. I'm Michael, founded Overland Bound a little while ago.
I'm
This
Corey.
is Corey, my partner in crime. She knows all the details and all the behind the scenes secrets.
What's up, Nate?
And she still likes me.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Nate Zoinks. What's up, man?
What's going on, you guys?
Big man outdoors. Hey.
If
from
you guys have
Missouri.
any questions, just Overland Bound, and we'll see it. It'll come up.
James and Amy's road trip adventures. That sounds epic. That sounds delightful.
It does indeed.
And Dave is here now too. Yeah.
Right on. Dave, what's going on? Nick, the new leather in the seat transformed the truck. Yes, that was by LC. We finally replaced the seats in the Land Cruiser. Let's see. We're going to talk a little bit about Overland Bound today, answer some questions. And like I said, we've got a bunch of questions from our friends overseas, including Africa and Europe. And we'll hit on those as we answer any questions that you guys have. So I want to, at the very beginning, because I think it hits on a lot of topics as we look through the questions, things people are interested in hearing about. One thing that relates to all of the questions is that, wait for it, drum roll, I'm about to make a shocking statement. It's going to be shocking. It's going to shatter the interwebs. Overland Bound is not Michael. What? So when we think about like Overland Bound is Steve, and Overland Bound is Corey, and it's Kent, and it's our directors worldwide that are watching. But most importantly, it's the community. And that's where we really focus. We focus on creating an adventure travel community that supports one another, and that's what it's all about. And it might seem obvious to a lot of folks that Overland Bound is not Michael. Of course, it's not. I just happen to have a YouTube channel, and I basically talk about whatever the heck I want to talk about, whatever I think is important. Facts. But yeah, Overland Bound is a company. It has to be a company in order to support our members. We have over 30,000 members worldwide. That is growing really, really quickly. And if Overland Bound was Michael, nobody would get any support whatsoever, right? So the Overland Bound's a company. We are very focused on that. It's how Corey and I have dedicated our lives to helping people travel because we believe adventure is necessary. It's how we roll. But we can't support the entire community, of course. And so what we do is we focus on building Overland Bound, and then through the community, through software with Steve's help, we support the community. So we listen a lot about what the community needs. Mike, what's going on? Social fans, thank you. I owe you a beer. Chat's over here, guys. That's why I'm over here. So we focus on building Overland Bound and making a super strong company, because by doing that, then we can support folks worldwide. And without doing that, we can't.
And just to add on to that, everything that we do and we build, especially as it relates to Overland Bound 1, is community driven. And what that means is that when we add new features, when we add new functionality, especially to the app and then the website, it is because it's direct feedback from the community for what they want. And more importantly, everything always circles back to connecting with people. And if you were to ask me, it's about creating in real life IRL experiences on a digital platform.
Yep.
The end of the day, we want people to be meeting in person and having a genuine face-to-face interaction, because as you all know, the way people behave online is not how they usually behave in person. And there is so much value into, this is corny, but a handshake and eye contact, because it is real.
That's right. I'm going to do a shout out to a few folks. I've said hello to Robert and Mr. Hansen watching from Norway. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for your question. David Spinks, thank you guys for your questions. A lot of great questions. At the top, I want to address something for our members, for our current members, And we get a lot of questions about, hey, how do we get hats and patches and things like that
In Europe.
in Europe? And
Speak to that.
and
Can
I have,
speak to that?
yes, you'll get your turn, but I've been thinking about this for 45 minutes because there's a lot of questions about this. And the truth of the matter is we have no good answer for you. We don't. And we can't answer that question. Here's why. Because duties and taxes are set by the local importing government. Overland Bound has nothing to do with that. We are not a legislative organization. We are not a government. We have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So when we start asking questions about those duties and taxes, there's nothing we can do. Being based in the United States, we have to ship things overseas. When you start,
have tried.
yeah, we've looked at all of it. I mean, Corey's really looked
I've
at all of it.
spent the hours on this. Yeah, we can't get around duties and taxes and imports and all of that. To set up an infrastructure and e-commerce and shipping infrastructure in Europe or Africa or wherever, that is a full-time job for somebody. We'll get there,
Yep.
but it is definitely a Herculean effort
Right.
to create that sort of distribution channel. I am always, if somebody knows somebody who has solved this or knows a company that has solved this for people, please email me. Please message me.
We've really looked into
on
it.
the forum. And in the meantime, just so you guys know, like we do our best to charge. We charge a flat rate in general to international companies. We take the hit on it. At times, at most, you're covering half of the cost. We take on the other because we want the product to get there, and you know that's a choice that we make, and it's fine. But just know that we are trying to make it as easy as possible in
Yeah.
the way that we can control it.
Right. And then there's questions about, well, can you ship it as a personal thing, like say it's a gift or something like that?
Busted.
The answer is no. That's
We get
breaking
so
that's
busted.
breaking the law.
And they, oh my gosh, you guys, they monitor that.
No, we
like
can't.
crazy. They
Yeah.
monitor it.
So no good answer there. Again, we'll continue to do it. Now, some people have said, hey, well, what if we did this locally, like in Europe? What if we manufactured the patches and the hats and stuff like that? Well, that's a whole thing, right? And like Corey said, that's a full-time job, right? Mm-hmm. So if somebody raised their hand and they said, I would like to create an overland bound business in Europe, what we would probably do is something like, great, we would bless it. We'd say, hey, if you want to use the logo, cool, but it's your business.
Yeah.
We're quality control, but that's a whole, you guys can see immediately how complicated this gets. All right.
This is a riveting conversation.
We went down, hey, this is behind the scenes. That's what this chat is all about. We do want to answer questions, and since there are a high volume of questions regarding that topic, hey, we'll spend a little bit of time talking about it. People want hats and patches. We get it.
I love solutions.
Yep.
If you know of one, we'll research it.
Yep.
Just know that it is 100% been on our ongoing dialogues.
So group buy overseas, maybe might be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
That might be something. Bjorn is asking that could be something, right? Way to amortize the cost over multiple things. It could be. You guys, just so you know, right? If we make a special patch, people might order maybe 18, right? I mean, it's not. We're not cranking out a bunch of things, right? But yeah, that's a possibility. It's a good suggestion, Bjorn. Hey, you guys, just saying hi to the chat. Yeah. The people are overland bound. Thank you very much. That's absolutely right. The people are overland bound. That's right. And so we're here to support the community. That is what Overland Bound is all about. And I feel fortunate, you guys, to be able to meet with a lot of our members, etc. So we had some questions about support worldwide, and I'm going to go to our software a bit and talk about Overland Bound 1 just a little bit, which is our Overland Bound built. Oh, Corey, I cut you off.
Okay.
I cut you off.
Oh,
See,
it's fine.
look, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm fine.
But people want to see your face. So if you, okay, so Overland Bound 1, Steve, I'm going to ask you just a question about mapping and
Yeah.
data, and what you've started to look at in regions like Africa, Europe, Australia. What have you found? And I'm going to make Steve a little bit bigger.
Yeah, so I guess I would sort of preface comments by saying that mapping is a thing that both Michael and myself are very passionate about. We don't always get to work on those things that we're passionate about because sometimes Apple demands stuff that we have to do in our software and it takes time. But yeah, the mapping stuff is very interesting to both of us. And I'd say that at this point, you know, the platform itself that we've built is pretty capable, and getting data into the app is the least difficult part of it, right? So the tricky part is finding the good data that we can actually use. So yes, we're pretty currently US centric in terms of things like trail data that we have. But it's worth pointing out that, you know, I think the US Forest Service roads and trails, there's like 80,000 trails that you can see today in the OB1 software. So personally, I've spent a bunch of time looking at overseas map data. So I've had discussions with the Ordnance Survey in the UK about the trails and the green lanes in the UK. It's pretty interesting. Again, there are probably 3 different categories of data. There's the public access, you know, open access data, like the US forest data is like that. Then there's stuff that is commercially available that you pay. You have to pay a license to access the data, and then you can incorporate that data into your app, for example. So in the UK, you know, Ordnance Survey has on their printed maps all of the boats, the byways open to all traffic, and that covers all the green lanes and that kind of thing. They don't currently have digital data for that, believe it or not. I believe they're working on it. They tell me it has to be done by hand. They have to, I don't know what they use to create the printed maps, but evidently the vector data for the trail routes isn't currently available. And you know, and I talked to them and they told me they have a very extensive database of tracks and trails. However, that is created by image analysis, and it does not have the public access designations that we would need, because the last thing we want to do is, you know, put a bunch of trails in our app where you're not supposed to be. We don't want to do that. We just want to sort of make sure that we're carefully designating, yes, this route is, you know, officially accessible to everybody. So that's where we are as far as the UK goes. So I think that's developing. Ordnance Survey tell me soon, no time scale, they're going to offer the boats sort of data routes for the tracks and that. Currently not available. We've looked at a couple of other, some people have hand curated. They go to all the individual counties in the UK, and each county publishes their trail maps. And so some people have individually gone to each county and collated the data. Again, though, it's, you know, that's not an effort that we really want to undertake, but there may be some possibilities to use data that other people have curated there. So a bunch of activity there, nothing concrete that you can see in the app. Interestingly, I had looked at Africa and failed to find any sort of GPS or GIS data. So the, what is it, the tracks for Africa that was mentioned in the questions is interesting. So I'll take a look at that. I haven't looked into that yet to see what's there. That's pretty interesting. We've looked at Australia. We have a whole, we actually have the data imported for, I forget, there were like 200,000 trails in Australia, something like that. However, that data is pretty low res. It's like 1 in 250,000. And we just need to be so careful about how we represent the trails. When you zoom in on data that's at that res, there can be a big discrepancy between where the trail is and where it looks like it is on the map. So yeah, I would say a bunch of energy has been put into overseas trail data. It is a developing situation. We want to get some, we obviously want to have more data in the areas where, we know Overland Bound members are. So it is a high priority for us.
Right. Thank you, Steve. We'll continue to look at that. Now, what I'll mention is that currently in the app you can import GPX files, and coming up within weeks, not months, is the ability to record your route, like other applications do. You'll be able to record a route that is yours, and then you can save it either to Overland Bound 1 so you can access it to the future, or you can share it to the public. That's your choice. And so that's coming up. Now, the one thing I can say that we will always be focused on is features and functionality for the adventure traveler. So, we didn't come from hiking and we didn't come from hunting. We came from overlanding, and we'll stay focused on adventure travel specific features. And, when we improve the platform, that will be available to everybody worldwide. So as long as you have a GPS signal, as long as, there's a way to navigate, no matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to use those tools in the platform. So we do often say, hey, we support the community through our technology, but really it's because that's the only feasible way for us to support the community worldwide. Again, going back from the beginning, Overland Bound is not me, and I'm not scalable, and we've got a number of folks who are dedicated to helping our members worldwide, and we'll do it through Overland Bound 1 or a website and that technology. So,
From Bjorn, the app and especially the map is great. I would like to encourage everyone to enter data points here. Outside the North America region, we can build a great source of information this way. Yeah, it's there. It's a really good interface and map. It really is.
Yeah, and we'll continue to improve it. So Steve and I work on it. I know Steve works like 14 hours a day. I mean, he does. And, but many people do, right? But all that is to say, we're constantly working on improving it. So we've got notes features coming up that are like point of interest light, where you'll be able to just add a note to the map that'll be informational. Things as simple as, hey, there's a winch point here, right? You'll be able to add a specific note on the map. So we're constantly improving it. And so, yeah, like Bjorn said, that we can create a tremendous resource. And we've got fun stuff in the future to incentivize that too. If you guys add reviews and things of that nature, we'll incentivize that as well. Okay, so let's see. We've got some questions. I'm gonna say thank you to Christoph for compiling these. What do the neighbors think when we're tinkering in the garage? So now we have some personal questions. So let's. Oh yeah. So let's see. Here I'm gonna do some administration. Hi, here's Corey. She's back. Look, there she is. What do the neighbors think? So Nick, who's watching for a little while, he comes over. Mike, he was watching for a little while. He comes over to our place. Sometimes they come over at the same time. So yeah, we live in the Bay Area right now, and that just means our neighbors are really close, right? So when we have our overland buddies come over, it is a spectacle, and we're that house for sure.
Just a little behind the scenes, because I know there are some comments we get from time to time about the Bay Area and why we are here in such a limited capacity. We co-parent here. Miguel is with his mom. I'm a stepmom, and we have Michael's daughter, so we co-parent, and that's a big factor in our location.
Yep.
And my entire family is here. And that's a big factor in our location, because it takes a village, and we value community. And to that extent, I really value my family and the support they provide by us being so close. So that's it. We got kids who are in high school now, so that conversation's going to change, and it's going to change quickly. And but for now, I was born here, raised here, my family's here. Do we want to get Michael a garage?
Yes. That will happen.
A real garage, that'll happen.
That will happen. We'll eventually. But
right now it's about school,
Yep.
the kids, my family, and just being surrounded by people who can, who help us and help
Yep.
us grow and help support us raising kids. So
I have another question here from Robert, Dragon Rider Travel on here. I like the idea of this Q&A and this community chat very much. Are we going to do it more in the future? Mm-hmm. We can. Now, YouTube, as you guys know, is this very broad platform. So the Q&As are for our community, for the Overland Bound community. So we do it, every so often. If we do a video like how do I attach my cases to my roof rack, or Steve, we ought to get you on talking about your adventure trailer that you're building. But if we do things like that, it's applicable to more folks, and so we tend to focus on broader topics. So these Q&As, we will continue to do them in the future, but they'll be spread out for sure.
So Longman Bushcraft, I have highlighted, excuse me, I have highlighted a wrong location. This is for Steve too. I have highlighted a wrong location for a campsite over 4 times over 6 months. It's still in the wrong place. We can fix that. Yes.
So the way to do that, everything, all the locations go through an admin queue, right? So we like to maintain the high quality of all of the locations in Overland Bound in the app. So what you do is you can flag a location. So if you go into the location's details, you scroll down and you say flag a location. That comes over to our admin queue as a flag to be reviewed. Mm-hmm. Now it's possible, because we have many people helping us through that admin queue, that maybe somebody didn't process it correctly, which would be frustrating. I can understand. Right. But that's the way to do it. In the app, if you click on, wait, I have technology.
Well, and let's
boom, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to say, hey, here's the location. And then you can suggest an edit. Boom. That's how you do it. Flag this location right down here. So that you can say, hey, you got to remove this. And we do process those. So people, the great thing about the community is that they are always saying, hey, I'm suggesting an edit, or here's a review, and we do review those. So if we miss that somehow, that could be frustrating, but that's how we do it.
And Longman, if you send an email to support@overlandbound.com, we have Dave in that inbox, I'm in that inbox, and if you can somehow just either screen cap the exact location, send us a link, whatever, then we'll be looking for that. Say, hey, this is Longman Bushcraft from the YouTube Just Chatting. Here's a screen cap of the exact point.
Yeah, so
long it is, and then we can dive in. Steve can dive in. If there's something, if you found a bug in our system, thank you, and we will fix it.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll take a look, because there is a process. Possible that, human error, I guess, but if there's some underlying issue, we definitely want to know about things like that.
Yeah.
And I do, because, then it's my fault, right? so I'll be motivated to fix it.
Yeah, we like bugs.
We do.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
We really like being told
sometimes
stuff is broken.
I'll tell you guys, a little behind the scenes. So in our past life, Steve and I worked together, software development, and the frustrating thing for the reporter is that when that issue comes in, we have to prioritize it against all the other issues, and so it's not necessarily a fast thing. So we'll rest assured it's coming in and it's being cataloged, but it may be a while before it gets fixed, because what we call addressing things as they come in is whack-a-mole, and it drives engineers crazy. In fact, they can't do it. It's very inefficient. So if we're always going like, fix this, fix that, fix that, fix that, they blow up. So what we do is we categorize them all in a backlog. We prioritize them against other issues and new features that we want to roll out. And then they eventually make their way up the queue. can be frustrating if you're the reporter of an issue, for sure. Yeah.
Steve Stahl, there are no plans of the cost of membership going up. What there are plans for is for expanded functionality and
I gotta
more
show it.
robust
Can I show it?
tools. Hold on. We will have an expanded tier of membership that is purely driven by functionality, and if you need more functionality in the map, you need the map to do more for you, there will be a membership option that will be more annually because it requires more resources to support the functionality. You can upgrade and downgrade as you want, but that base level of the membership fee, we have no plans on, I believe.
Correct.
No plans on.
We're not going to say never, right? You know, I mean, hopefully, yeah, hopefully we're still around in 2050 and might have to make adjustments, but there's no immediate plan to make any adjustments.
Really quick, Josh. Yep. Love the channel. Would be great if you guys did member builds and show other people's overland vehicles. We got a long history of that.
Yep.
What we can do is create a playlist.
Except 2020.
Except 2020. But we have a long history of rig walkarounds.
Yeah, if you search our channel,
to like 2015.
If you search our channel for rig walkaround, you'll see all kinds.
But we can create a playlist. There's a great arsenal of members who have built amazing rides. Everything from a 2003 Tacoma to like Unimog,
fully built out Unimog,
Synchro. We got lots of stuff.
Yeah, but we'll continue to do that because that's what helps. That's what helps to inspire people with their own builds, right? Is to see some of this stuff. So we'll continue to do this.
And this is going to tie into your explanation now is going to tie into M70 Hornet.
Yep. M70 Hornet, got it. Riggy question, does the app function off cell service? Well, so that's one of the things that we were talking about. I'll turn this on right now. So on my map, you'll see this little download button, and that's part of the Expedition tier. The Expedition tier allows you to record your track. It allows you to download offline maps. It has an offline mode so that the app intelligently functions when there's no cell service, and a number of other things that are more, hey, Expedition off-road focused. And so the answer to that is yes. This is within weeks, not months. But, you know, again, you guys heard me mention we come from overlanding and not hunting, hiking. We're focused on this. We want to make it very easy. So, for example, to download an offline map in any area, if you know you're going, well, let me do this. I'll go like this. I'll go to Doozy Ersham Trail. Boom. So say I'm going here, right? It's as easy as coming to the trail details, and then right there you see download GPX and you see download map. And so you just hit that button. Just go to the trail, hit that button, and it makes sure that when you're out there, you have the offline map and the offline data so that you can navigate when you don't have cell coverage. The other way that works is here from the map, instead of having to select bounds and draw lines and do complicated stuff, I go to this area, I say, I'm going to go there, and I just click this download button. That's it. And then I name it. I say, trail. Of course, this is not the real name, but and then I just download it. And so now you see the little clock on the right hand side. It's downloading a 50 by 50 square mile around that location just by positioning the map and hitting download. It's that easy.
It's a tiny little circle on the right side on the middle.
Yeah, you guys probably, you guys see it.
It's
and then
tiny, but it's turning yellow now.
And then it downloads it. So the answer is yes. Also, I'll go into my settings and I'll turn on offline mode, and you'll see it immediately go into offline mode. Boom. And what offline mode does is it ensures that if you are out there off grid and you start the app, it's not going to go, oh, you need to log on. Oh, you need to update a new version. Oh, we can't open the app because you're offline, right? That is totally unacceptable for
Okay.
an adventure app.
M70. So yes, soon, but no currently. Not being a smartass, just don't want to bang my head against the iPad trying to find it today. That's great. Yes, and the answer is
The answer is yes, soon, not currently. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
So
some nuance to that too, Michael. If I can just it's pretty cool. When you're in offline mode, it doesn't prevent the app from accessing available network if there is one. So it will pull in extra map data and so on. It just behaves intelligently and doesn't try and make you log in, right? So you can actually use the app usefully.
And we're talking weeks, not months, or days, not weeks.
No, we're talking weeks, not months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing you guys see, offline maps already work. Our directors around the world have access to it now. So we're using offline maps. Offline mode works great. The thing that we're waiting to release that is a part of the whole expedition tier is the recording of tracks. So, you know, while you're driving, being able to record and create a GPX track.
Yep, and we're in the middle of working on that
Yep.
right now.
That's what we're working on right now. So very long answer to your question, soon.
It's the story of
Me.
everything.
It's the story of-
right now.
story of me.
It's fun. Hey, very new to overlanding. Hey, Lone Star Swirl and off-road adventures. My wife and I recently married. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Love going off-grid in our Jeep Wrangler, and this app seems like it will be perfect for newbies like us. Thank you, and it will get better.
It will,
It's gonna like.
and for newbies like us, the differentiator is community included. It's an overland adventure travel social network. And so, you know, if you know, there are other things out there that are map tools, right? Like you got a toolbox and here's my map tool. The thing that is different for us is that we incorporate the community so that you guys have support no matter where you travel. That is the key difference between, say, Overland Bound 1 and other things that are out there. The community will support you, and the community is awesome. You guys are awesome.
And most importantly, since day one, especially for newcomers and self-identified newbies, there is no rig shaming and there is no rookie flaming tolerated in our forums, in our social media discourse. There is no space for it.
Yep.
There's no need for it.
We have
Everybody starts somewhere, and I am so like, you want to see me get animated? It's when people come in and act like complete jerks to people who are asking simple, basic questions. We don't do that. Full stop. Sorry, I get really animated.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. That's exactly why we have that community is because Corey and myself, we feel very passionate about that. We all started somewhere. And if you want to get right down to it, like the DNA of Overland Bound, you know, when we turned to adventure travel way back when for our own balance and went to communities to get information, they were not friendly.
No.
They were not places that we wanted to hang out, so we created Overland Bound. And so it's our DNA. Let's
be real. They were pretentious and rude, and you had to ask the right question in the right way to get any sort of information that could help you. And even then, there would be somebody who would say something snarky. It's just like, why?
Well, the other thing is this: growing up in the woods with off-road vehicles. I mean, logging. I was a choker setter. My dad, you know, worked for the Forest Service. Grew up outdoors. So I already had this baseline knowledge of what it takes to survive and just be smart and prepared outdoors. I already had the knowledge. So it was really funny to go into communities that pretended like it was somehow special knowledge, right? And I was like, now come on, guys, we're just all trying to get outdoors. And so, yeah, that's what you'll find on our platform and in our community is that it is all supportive and friendly, and that's how we roll. We have a magic nuke button.
Yeah, we use it.
Oh, you. Hey, if you're drinking late at night and you get a little snarky, don't worry about it.
Okay, because we're just chatting. Some of you,
we're not precious.
No,
we're not precious.
No, very, very rarely. Sometimes it'll happen either on social or YouTube or whatever. Somebody has just clearly been drinking
in their cups,
and they're just like on social media talking about like it's hilarious to us because it's like I wake up in the morning and it's like, oh well, good morning to you, sir. But usually around 1 a.m. it's like, oh, that dude was.
Hey, argue all you want, right? It's the hate speech and things like that. That are no good. But yeah, argue and debate all you want. We're not precious.
This is
right?
not moonshine. This is water in a jar.
Hey, Craig Yeager, thanks for shouting out, and shout out to Humboldt County. That's where I grew up. I grew up in Carlotta, California, town of 360 people, where there were fish in the Van Dusen River, and that's how we ate.
Hey, going back up a little bit in chat, Thomas Carlonis. Is it possible to make the forum, the forum would show as a default all topics from my regions? For example, Europe does. It's mostly USA discussion. That's yes. And thank you for asking that.
I'll just do this. This is what we have currently. I'm in offline mode. Let me go into not offline mode.
Okay, Kent's here.
Hey, Kent.
What's going on? I got feisty. We got to get.
Okay, so you guys, this is the feed in the app, right? That's funny. This is the feed in the app, which is the latest topics, right? So if you want to see what the community is up to right now, it defaults to the feed. But if you swipe right, it has all the categories, and then you can go down here and you can see Overland Bound by region. And so this is how you get local. And then we do from time to time, though not often, add new regions. If you go into North America, we have all the sub-regions. So that's how you get local in the app. And you'll find a similar format. You'll find a similar format on the forums as well, on the web version. It's all connected.
Somebody posted, so there was a meme in there that was, it looks like it was from Zoolander, and it was overlanding so hot right now. I always say, when I hear those comments, it's like, I want to create a patch or a sticker, and it just says, overlanding, just a trend since 2014.
Just a trend.
Just a trend. It's just a trend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, to touch on that, the reason is, people need to continually strike balance between their day-to-day and what they get caught up in, and a little bit of break time in the outdoors, and it is very important.
Oh, and
clearly
also,
we feel very strongly
and also
about
like
that.
and okay, let's get spicy for a second.
Uh-oh.
All right. On social, I have seen conversations about what an actual overland adventure or an authentic overland adventure, and it involves people usually on the other side of the world, in Africa or Europe or in Asia, crossing borders, etc. And that is referred to as an authentic overland or actual overland. So not everybody can do that. Right? So if that is the qualifier for actually going on this type of adventure, then I want nothing to do with that. Here's what I mean. It's a bold statement. Here's what I mean. Because I don't want to exclude somebody whose current life circumstances don't allow them to travel like that, but I do not know where they will be in 5 years. I don't know their situation. I don't know what they got going on. I know we can't travel, or we choose not to travel like that because we've got kids and we got life circumstances that right now keep us located in California. But again, I'm not going to put a limiting thought on me or anybody else because I don't know you. I don't know what you want to do. I don't know where you're going, but I'm not going to exclude you from a conversation or tell you that you're not taking an authentic journey in your vehicle because of what you have happening in your life right now.
Absolutely. And, in terms of those more exotic long-term trips, like our friend David Spinks has done, Polaris Overland. Very inspiring. I'm planning. We're planning.
Yeah.
Hey, so Caveman Outdoors, the adventure tier. So I'll just talk about that briefly. When you become a member of Overland Bound, you're always a member. You have your Overland Bound number, and you're always a member, no matter what. And so the way the adventure tier and the expedition tier work is this: if you come and you come to Overland Bound and you're brand new, and you go through the app and you subscribe to the adventure tier, you get added to our community of members, which is permanent. You get an Overland Bound number, and you get that designation in the app and in the forums. It says member. You are a member. So later, if you unsubscribe, if you cancel the adventure tier, or on the expedition tier, if you cancel that, it doesn't take away your membership, right? So there's a difference between what a member has access to and a registered user, which is somebody just comes into the app and they register and they are looking around. Members have access to the point of the location details on the map, and they have access to a lot of different things. They can write messages to other people on the map. You're considered a community member at that point, so you have more direct access to the community, access to the information on the for all the locations in the map. Instead of just knowing where they are, you can access that page that gives all the information. And a few other things. You can create an event, a rally point event. You can create an event. So all of those things are available to the adventure tier. You're always a member. And then there'll be expedition, which is beyond that, which is offline stuff and expedition type stuff.
So jumping back in, this is for you and Steve. Dave's got a great idea, which is with the OB app, as you just demonstrated, the section, My Community, which is the latest threads. Can the My section be personalized to show only geographical threads, i.e. Europe, that each member can set, or whatever they want? Like to have a pinned, almost like a pinned feed on your personal your personal like feed, so that you can curate what you want to follow and track.
It would be great, right? And you could do a thing where you say all or region, right?
Yeah,
so that would be the thing. You could set.
But you could just mark by thread, like,
right?
And then
So
have a favorites,
right?
Favorites, maybe.
I'm gonna go here. So if we have this filter, and it has. So with Overland Bound meetups, events, trips, online meetups, training events, things of that nature, you can filter Rally Point to show you things that are relevant to you. So you can go in here, you can say, hey, I want to see things that are rated like this. I want to see these type of events. And then you can also select regions. I want to see events from this region. And that filters what you see in the list of events. So that's how you get local with events. It would be something similar, right? Here are all the things. It would be something similar, but for the community feed, right? It's a really good idea. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. All right. Let's see. I'm going to look at some other questions Christoph had. How many members are there in Africa now? I'm going to say around 100. I was looking just the other day. It might be more, but we're above the tens and lower than the thousands in Africa right now. Let's see. What is your favorite camp meal and who prepares it better, Corey or Michael? I'm gonna say my favorite meal, and then Corey can say her favorite meal. My favorite meal is a cold hot dog in a cold tortilla with a piece of cheese.
It's so gross.
But it's fast, and I get to get back up on the trail. I eat, I get myself fuel, and then I get back in the rig, and I'm on the trail.
I like anything that's cooked over an open fire. I love protein. That is, we have a fire safe and a grill from Wolf and Grizzly, and just the charcoal, like a steak.
Steve.
Yeah, protein cooked on an open fire.
Yeah.
Lots of burgers.
Yeah.
Depending on if we're on the go or not, just a more broad answer to that. If we're on the go or not, it's quick meals or prepare a meal. It is really fun to prepare a meal if you're not in a hurry, if you're not trying to get someplace.
And the fried breakfast is all
Brandon, what's going on, man? So you want to know who likes to cook? It's Brandon, that guy in the comments. He's cooking all kinds of fancy meals. All right. Brandon and I had a great trip the other day. Let's see. Michael, interviews and with global reps and things of that nature. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have a question that says, hey, can we interview some of your regional directors, et cetera, things that are going on in their area of the world? The answer is yes. It'd be great to do that.
Oh, dude, M70 Hornet, the Scottle, we'll set it up at home too. I totally agree. It's so versatile, and that's not a shameless plug. That's just a fact. It's good for when we take the kids out too, because we can feed 4 people off of it. What else is interesting?
Let's see.
For those of you who have been hanging out longer than 2 minutes and 5 seconds, which is the current average watch time, thank you.
They're like, these guys they're just babbling. They're not laying down any, anyway, they're just babbling. That's right.
Retention went up when I was talking about spicy topics.
Okay, so
we know
are there
that now.
any other spicy topics? Rooftop tent or ground tent? Let's answer the question. Let's see. Any other questions, you guys? We've been on for a little while.
Yeah.
Love chatting with you guys. I think we've hit most of the topics on. I've got a couple more here. When am I coming to Africa? I would love to do that. I would love to do that.
Sooner rather than later.
Sooner rather than later. How non-committal was that?
I know,
okay.
right?
Werner, if you had to replace the 80, what would it be? Either a Unimog or an LMTV? Because I want to do some more longer term traveling, and it's easier for Corey. In the 80, it's great, but you will agree with me, it's a little bit crowded, and it's just it's a small vehicle.
Okay, legit. I'm like we've worked with them and we've partnered with them, and there's a reason why we partnered with them. But I want a Hummer EV.
Corey wants a Hummer EV.
I would love to travel in the Hummer EV.
That thing is
trailer full of batteries.
Beautiful. It's gorgeous, but that's not why. It's just capable too.
It's capable.
Anyways.
It's a very capable.
Yeah, we're gonna have we have a piece that we've worked with GMC on. We're gonna have an interview coming up with their chief engineer, and it is fascinating. I'm not just saying that because we partnered with them. Again, the reason why we partnered with them is because it is the future, and how they approached it was so methodical and start at the top, give us all the good features, and or all of the pioneering, like they knocked it out of the park. Thank you, GMC.
Yeah. So and we're always going to be, so we're about anything that allows people to go farther, do more, and get in the great outdoors. And EV is going to be a big part of that. Yeah. And so we're all about it. We're never going to be like, you've got to do this, and it's got to be this kind of vehicle. No,
we're like tech. It's just about that tech. Yep. And where that's going, especially in the next 5 years, Frank, we do recommend the Tempo Test Scuttle because we've had ours since 2015. That's great. And we're still using it. It's a long-term investment.
Mike is asking from Africa could you include tracks for Africa points of interest in OB1? We'll look at it, and if it's available or there's some reasonable partnership we could do, then we would be able to do that. So I'll look that up. Let's see. You guys, I'll be honest. Like sometimes I reach out to folks and they're like, pay us, like $5 every time somebody downloads the GPX track, and we're like, we can't afford that. We can't do it. So it all depends on it being, reasonable. So we'll look at that.
Interject.
Yeah, I got other questions though.
Okay.
The people want to know.
Well, I think this ties into your recent recent video, Dumb and Dumber. Michael, I got to say that your last video got me so worked up that I'm dragging my girlfriend up to Vermont for the weekend right after work. Thanks for all you guys do. James from Massachusetts.
James.
If you just go check out the last video, he won't say it, I will say it. I was very proud of him for it. It's just straight talk about why we do it. It ties into that whole thing of Overland Bound not being exclusionary to anybody who endeavors to take this type of exploration and travel and bring it into their life. And it's a good kick in the butt, to be honest, but I'm biased and that's my husband, so take that for what it's worth.
Yeah. Just that was that one take wonder, right? I just but it's we get caught up in the day to day, right? We all do, and I'll even get caught up in details about Overland Bound, like how am I going to get more tracks in Australia? But it's important to back away from it from time to time and remember why we do all this stuff day to day and why we support people. And anyway, I was trying to speak to that.
Behind the scenes, truly, he doesn't care what other people think. I care what other people think.
You guys would see a lot more if it weren't for Corey.
Does not
for better or worse
about what people think. He's too busy. He's too busy in life. It's legit when he says that.
Okay. Something we want on the rig aside from the kitchen console. We want to get the gull wings for the back windows. We'd love to do that.
How long have we been talking about suspension?
Oh, suspension.
How long?
Yeah, we need suspension. You guys, adventure travelers are the extreme use case for any kind of suspension gear. So if you buy heavy duty shocks, it's not going to be sufficient. You need the shock price curve goes like this. It goes decent, good, great. Here's the cost of what you need. Way up here. Because you'll just go through them. You'll just ruin your shocks is the fact of the matter. So yeah, we've been talking about decent.
There's no middle. There's no.
Yeah, we've been talking about decent suspension for a really long time, and that's probably number one.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, it has to do with minimums required and getting a supply chain going in Europe. Otherwise, shipping the patch will to receive the patch, to order the patch online and have it sent. You will be paying for 3 patches and only get 1. Like, we just have to crack that nut. We have to.
Let's see. In the beginning, you no doubt adventured during the holidays. Now that Overland Bound is a business, how do you balance work-life on those trips? That's a good question.
Sorry, I was looking at chat. What's the
question? It's this one. It's this one.
Okay.
So balancing work life, because we go on trips, we adventure, we love doing it ourselves, and then so now we go on trips, and how do we balance work life? There are work trips, and there are personal trips, really, and sometimes they're a combination of both. But oftentimes, like Brandon, if he's still watching, I went out with my buddy Brandon and the kids for Father's Day, and there was no work at all. None. Wasn't taking pictures, wasn't taking any videos, wasn't testing any products. It was just a trip.
And I think the reality is that I will hang back more often now because of that, and I don't mind because there's we know the long-term plans. So the balance really is it's fine. Like, it's fine because we understand that there is that there will be plenty of time to travel. There'll be plenty of time to explore, and we integrate it into our life as much as possible.
Yep. And let's be honest too. We're really fortunate to have turned something we're passionate about into a business. And so I appreciate the question that you acknowledge that it's a business, because I'll tell you what, that represents about 3% of people that know about Overland Bound and Michael and Corey, right? it's a business, and so it's real work. And Steve and I build software, and Corey, handles retail, and it's a real
Okay, spicy.
real business and a real job.
Spicy talk. Spicy talk.
Spicy talk.
Occasionally we get emails from people who are scandalized that we are a business.
Yeah.
And it is delightful when I receive those emails because I thank them for their feedback and confirm that we are a business.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. You guys all know, I'm sure everybody that is watching knows that running a business is really hard.
It's hard.
It's really hard. And it's got goods and it's got bads, and you guys all know that.
Okay, let's get back to overlanding question.
Yep.
Dumber, how do you guys feel about Subarus becoming more common out on the trail? I had to sell my Tundra pickup because of gas mileage and bought a Subi. I love on-road, but am indifferent when taking camping. And then John Bryan has a good comment to it, which is I have a 2010 Forester I take out exploring. Recognize the limits it has and go for it.
Yes. So how do we feel about Subarus? They are awesome. Just like any other vehicle is awesome. And what we always say, you guys know, our jarring comment that we say is, it doesn't matter what you drive, and that always makes people go, wait, what? It absolutely matters. No, it doesn't. What matters is where you drive it and what you ask that vehicle to do. So you can drive a Mini Cooper, a Volkswagen Bug, a Subaru, or a skateboard into a national park, into a state park where there's concrete, and it will be a great time close to the great outdoors, and it will be fine.
Yep.
But it does matter that, as John said, you have to understand its limitations so that you're always safe. And Subarus have limitations. They don't have the torque that you sometimes need if you get stuck. There are ground clearance issues, but that's the same for any vehicle, right? You have to work within the vehicle's capabilities. There are trails, like you look at the Overland Bound rig, there are trails that I absolutely should not be on because they are Nick DeLuca and Nick just built a rock crawling 80 series. And it can rock crawl circles around my 80. It can go places that mine can't go. So you just have to be very aware of the limitations of your vehicle, and as long as you're aware of the limitations of your vehicle and you use it responsibly, great. It's absolutely fine. Let's see. I think, Longman bushcraft overlanding doesn't need to include rock crawling. That's right. I see it like this. At some point, rock crawling and off-road travel becomes a sport, which is different than adventure in the great outdoors. And both are great. And you can do both. But with a sport, you're hard on your equipment, you break it, you have certain goals, right? As opposed to just being in the great outdoors and enjoying things, right? And it's all kind of closely connected. All right.
We've been on for a while.
We've babbled a little bit. You guys, thank you for joining us.
We got that average watch time to 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
Woot.
Yes. Yes.
Steve, what are we forgetting? What are we not talking about yet?
Good question. I guess one thing that recently happened is that we've dramatically improved and are improving the whole sort of becoming a member, becoming a registered user. That
it's been hard.
We've lived with, like there's an email, you click it, and it's like a whole process, and that is very much streamlined as of the last release, and upcoming releases continue to iterate on that one too.
Yeah, just making it easier, just easier, better support tools, better community tools, community network tools, and easier to get involved with Overland Bound. Yeah.
Yep.
Did we ignore Jackal Racer?
Jackal Racer, what's going on? Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Yeah. Let's see.
How hard getting vehicle shipped to New Zealand? Hard.
So it's apparently very difficult.
Epic Family
Though,
Road Trip.
please reach out to our friends, Epic Family, the Epic Family Road Trip. They shipped a vehicle to New Zealand, went through the entire process. It is all about the quarantine process and the cleaning that they go through. Similar to Australia, our Australian Overland Bound members have advised me that if I ever, want a vehicle, that I get one locally, because the process of importing is not easy. But I think it has to do with the strict requirements of importing them. Not impossible. Let's say that. It's not impossible.
It's the flora and the...
Yeah, they just have to be
They
factory...
don't want any invasive species coming through plant-wise, so you have to clean the entire vehicle. Like,
yeah,
take it apart.
factory showroom clean is basically what it needs to be. Yeah. All right, you guys.
Okay.
Hey, thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Steve, thank you for joining us
Thanks for
remotely.
coming, Steve.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
You guys, you have any questions? Support at overlandbound.com. Write them in the comments. We'll follow up and answer them. And we hope to see you guys. Out there on the trail.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thanks, your awesome community. Thanks for all the
Thanks,
support.
Brandon Gill says hi, Steve.
Hey, Brandon. Long time no see.